Right, this is going to be a bit of a sad video today. Now, I was always going to come make a video on this when it happened, and I've heard it has happened now, so I'm going to do that. But because it's going to be a bit of a sad video at the start, I thought I'm going to try and turn it into something positive, end it on a fun note, something that you can get involved with if you want to, and yeah, something that might just inspire someone to get outside and have a wander. But before I get to the video, I just want to say, does anyone remember that scene in Shawshank Redemption, where the prison escape film, where the characters Andy Dufresne and Red are sat in jail, and Andy Dufresne turns to Red and says,
"If you ever get out of here, do me a favor."
Sure, Andy.
There's a big hayfield up near Buxton. You know where Buxton is? If you ever get out, find that spot. At the base of that wall, you'll find a rock that has no earthly business in a main hayfield. There's something buried under it I want you to have.
What, Andy? What's buried under there?
Now, when I watched this film as a kid, I always hoped that one day in my life, somebody would bury something for me and say, go find it. And unfortunately, that's not happened. I don't know why. But then it came to my realization that instead of it being me, the one that goes to find the treasure, maybe it should be me who buries the treasure, and maybe it should be you who goes to find it, and that might bring me just as much fun. So if the idea of buried treasure seems appealing to you, and maybe you want to go find it, keep watching the video. But first, let's get to the sad part. Let's go see something which I've heard is now completely gone. And yeah, if you know what this channel's about, I'm sure you might have figured it, but yeah, let's go do it. And we'll go on a bit of a back history of this channel as well, because this thing plays, or should I say played, a very important part to this channel. So let's go do it. So I must have walked up this hill thousands of times in my life, and I used to always turn this corner here, and standing right there would be a magnificent mill chimney. And it's gone. So there used to be this beautiful mill chimney, probably 40 metres, 50 metres tall, that just sat so nicely into the landscape. And yeah, well, I knew it was going to get knocked down at some point, and I did come back and film kind of when they were doing it, but I've just been away in Australia for a couple of weeks, and apparently, yeah, I've got back and it's completely gone. So let's go see what remains of what once was a beautiful mill chimney. It seems so strange now to look there and not see it. Oh God, how depressing. How depressing. Oh no. Look at this. I mean, that's what remains of it. All that stone. God. Right. There's a bit of fencing up, but fuck you, you took away my chimney. Whoa. Look at this. These are all the giant blocks. The giant blocks of stone that built this magnificent chimney, now completely gone. Check it out. Look, there it is. There's the base. Oh my word. This is so strange. Wow, look at that. It just seems so small and insignificant now, doesn't it? But this used to house an absolute beautiful chimney. I'll put some footage in now of what it used to look like, but it's gone. It's gone. And now I am standing on where the chimney used to go up. It feels so thin. It feels so narrow compared to when I used to look at it. Can you see that? That's just me stood on it. There are probably thousands of tons of stone that made it up. Now just collapsed around it. So yeah, here we are sat on what used to be the giant mill chimney, and it's played such an important part in my entire life because I went to school literally just down there. I used to look up at this mill chimney every day from the playground. Definitely one that inspired my love for industrial history. But more importantly too, the channel The Wandering Turnip, which the very first video I made on this channel And I'm going to put some footage in, and please excuse the awful camera quality. I did not know how cameras worked, and I still don't really, but I didn't know how editing worked. I was editing the wrong frame rate, so I'm going to put some clips in, but you'll see just how bad the quality is. But it was this very first video. I started on the hillside just up above Hebden Bridge where I live, and I looked down and I could see these chimneys. So behind me down there is the town of Hebden Bridge, and I was right, it's currently completely full of mist, so you can't really see anything. But it is passing, so we might be able to get a clear reveal of the town coming. And right there you can see one of the chimneys from the old mills, which is what we're going to be going and exploring today. And I remember coming across, this was the very first chimney that I found back in, I can't remember, a few years ago. I walked along that road up there and I came across a sign that even said this chimney is going to be demolished. So I'm not sure if you can see this one, just sticking out the top of the trees there. So let's go have a look, see if we can get close to it. So I've just come across this poster which is saying that an application has been approved to demolish this chimney, which would be a tragedy. So it's saying that this chimney was once part of Mythe and Brown's mill, and it's saying that this structure forms part of the industrial heritage of the town. Local residents are trying to prevent its demolition. If you object, an email. So I'm going to email and object massively, as this is the first chimney I found today. Wow. And I remember saying, oh, we should all get in touch and show our support for it. But it was this first chimney. I wandered down here and I came across it, and I remember giving it a pat and just saying, oh, this is interesting. And I never ever thought, when I put this was the first video I ever did, I had probably, well, I'll have had 0 subscribers on the channel. I think I've got like 140,000 of you now that love me wandering around looking at old interesting industrial history. And never once did I think that people would enjoy my videos as much as you have done, and as much as people have seemed to resonate with them. And it's crazy to think it's now gone. It's now completely gone. It wasn't the only video I made of this chimney. I remember when we heard it was going to be demolished, that it was going to be knocked down, I remember I came back and I brought a beer. We'd all been told, got letters through doors and posted on local groups saying, yeah, the chimney is finally going to be demolished. So I just thought I'd come say goodbye to it. So I brought a beer down and just, yeah, said my goodbyes. And God, I can't even remember when that was. It was weird because that happened, and then for ages nothing seemed to be happening. It seemed to be like, oh, maybe this chimney is going to survive, maybe it's not going to get knocked down. But yeah, I remember I stood there, I think it was, so I thought I'd just bring down a beer, have a beer with you, buddy. One last one. Back to the chimney. Just a grown man on a Tuesday afternoon drinking a fake Spanish lager at a chimney. Oi. Time to say goodbye. You had a good bloody run. You really did. Alright. And now it very much has gone. When the chimney was getting demolished, I saw some scaffolding going up, and there were a fella doing some drone shots around the valley, which was really interesting. And I thought I'd come back then and just kind of see what was going on. I didn't really want to, but I thought, you know what, I will get down. And I chatted to the fellas who were knocking it down, the steeplejacks who were up there. Oh my God. It's pretty much all gone, look at that. How you getting on, fellas, all right? Just taking some pictures, is that all right? Yeah. Come down. Have you been the one at the top?
No, it's the lad who's up on the scaffold.
Oh, is there someone up there?
Yeah.
How long do you reckon left then before it's gone?
How long do we reckon?
Probably a couple of weeks left, I suspect.
A couple of weeks left.
It's quite hard going now with
Is,
8 of them.
is it?
They're about that thick and about that long.
Oh really? How much are they weighing then? Yeah, how much do you reckon?
About £100 each.
Oh wow.
At least, yeah.
Just about around £100, about 90, £100, yeah.
That's crazy.
Seat size of some of them.
I know, yeah, them down there. I went to that one in Oldham not long ago, you know, where they dynamited it.
Yeah.
That was pretty mad.
It's kind of fun. Shame we couldn't do it with this.
Yeah. Bit quicker work.
A lot faster.
That's it.
Wouldn't have had to hump them around. 2 more tubes, Alan.
Okay.
Alright, nice one fellas anyway. Have a good one, yeah?
See you later.
They were nice guys, they were just doing their job, much like Fred Dibner, I reckon. They probably didn't want to knock it down. Dibner never wanted to knock them down, but that was the work that was going. And yeah, kind of came and chatted to them and saw it, and I can't remember what the level was like. Again, I've got some footage, so I'll put it in. But yeah, it was like halfway down. But it was really annoying because when they were doing it, I remember when the scaffolding went up, it's all weather dependent. And soon as the scaffolding went up, the weather just got absolutely banging. And they were just like, yeah, this is the time to knock down a chimney. No wind, they just got it down so quickly. But it was in that video as well, when I came and looked at them knocking it down, I thought, oh, let's go and just document some of the remaining chimneys in the valley. Now I did do that in the first ever video I made, but back then my camera quality wasn't great. I didn't have a drone, so I thought, oh, I'm just gonna go show you some of my favourite chimneys that still do exist in the valley, and just kind of show some enthusiasm for them and kind of support, and the reason why getting rid of them sucks so much. Knocking them down is such a terrible thing to do in this wonderfully interesting town. Let's not rid ourselves of the interesting stuff. So yeah, these are just a couple of my favourite chimneys from the valley. So as you can see, as you just head through this beautiful woodland, appearing as if some monolith from Rivendell, a beautiful mill chimney. Look at that, just sat alongside those trees as if itself is a trunk coming from the earth. Wow, just look at it, it's magnifico. I absolutely love it. And it is just it's the setting of this one, because it just feels so remote, so isolated, so just out on its own. I'm gonna fly my drone up in a second because I've never done that around this one, so that's gonna be so amazing in this woodland to have a look. But you're probably thinking, look, I came here for the video, I heard it was about chimneys, but I'm sticking around for this treasure that you said at the start. But if you want to find out about the buried treasure, then you have to see some chimneys first, and it will all tie together at the end, I promise you. But yeah, let's go give this one a quick pat on the bottom before we fly the drone up. There we go. How old are you? Can't remember how old this one is. So good. So this chimney sits in the Calden Valley on the way out of Hebden Bridge up to Blackshaw Head, and it really is an outstanding achievement, isn't it? It is a masterclass in precision and skill and placement. It just seems like it was meant to be here, and I'm so glad I got to fly my drone up because I've always wanted to do this round here. And I said that it's on its own up here, but there's actually another one. There's another great mill chimney just down the valley a little bit. You can just see it there. Look how nice those two look there. It's these ones that are so important to keep in the heritage of this town because they sit so cohesively with the landscape. Oh damn, I got my drone stuck in a tree. Alright, it's somewhere up here. This isn't how the video is meant to go. Oh. It flashes and beeps when you, so on here you can press a button and it'll flash and beep. Oh shit, I've seen it. How are we gonna get that down? See that? I'm pretty sure that was my drone that just fell. Oh, there it is! Woohoo! That was a close call with nature. Let's just say that. There's only one way down. I think it might be time for a new drone soon. This bad boy has seen some serious action, and still seems to work. I've crashed it so many times, into so many chimneys, down so many chimneys, and yet it lives on. Before I get carried away and get it stuck in another tree, let's head off and see another absolute beauty of a chimney. Right, so this next one, I've got to. It's not as remote. It's not tucked in a secret valley somewhere, all Tolkien-y. But no, it's bang in the centre of town. And it is so, so tall. And the colour work on it, oh, the way it's aged. And it's 1863, I can see on that. Just look at this. Oh, it's got the shadow with the reflection in the canal as well. Look at that, absolute beast of a chimney. This one is just so wonderfully tall. And yeah, it's the tallest one in the valley by far. I absolutely love it. Let's get the drone up. If the drone works, it may have passed on. It may have gone to, where did they go at the end of Lord of the Rings? Somewhere, I don't know. We've lost a bit of a wing. I think that'll be all right. I think it can go with 7 wings.
Am I right?
It's a drone, yeah, it is, yeah.
You watch it go up in the air with a bit of luck.
Hopefully, I crashed it about 20 minutes ago. So it's a bit of a test. I think it will still fly, but
Have a look, let's watch. Shall we watch?
yeah, I'm flying up.
point of them.
I'm flying up to take some pictures of the chimney. Hopefully.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Oh, look at that. Whoa. Oh. Oh, look at that stuff. Wow. Look at that. Oh, no. Oh, it's chrome. Wow, isn't that amazing?
I love how this chimney from above just looks like a clock hand with its shadow, and I have always wanted to fly my drone down, or as far down as I dare, into this chimney, and it's just ace to look. God, you can't even see the bottom. That is both terrifying and beautiful. And it's this chimney here in Hebden Bridge that really is the grandest of the bunch, the apex colossus. And look, I love that in the background here you can see those 2 smaller ones, and they just line up down the valley so perfectly. And I thought, with my drone in the sky, let's fly over and see the chimney that is being demolished. And you can just see it there, centre of screen with the green scaffolding going round it. And that there's probably, what, a quarter of the size that it once was. It came down so quickly. Now, I said earlier that I've never been on a treasure hunt, and that's actually a lie, because the first video I did hunting the mill chimneys of Hebden Bridge, someone got in touch and said, "You've missed one." And I was like, no, I haven't, no way. And it turns out the person was right. I missed this one here that is tucked away on this hillside that you can only see at very specific times when all the trees have shedded all the leaves, and I couldn't believe it. And I spent days looking for this chimney that I'd missed, and it turns out it was right here all along. And I hope this video is showing just how important these are to the landscape, to the town, to the industrial history, and how it's so important to keep them here. So the drone lives on for another flight. It is getting a bit ropey. It's getting really shaky taking that thing up. But we got up there. We finally got to see up this chimney, down this chimney, around this chimney, flying over there, seeing those other chimneys. It's so ace to see this valley full of them, which is why it's so sad to see that one over there going. Once you've taken away all the good we built, all the good stuff in this country was built in a very small window. In a very short amount of time, we built all the giant, beautiful, wonderfully structured things in this country. And now we're taking them down. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So preserve it. Yeah. Sadly, after making those videos, my drone finally did die. It died. It had done its course. It had proved to be a very useful drone. We got some fantastic shots of chimneys. We flew it all over the place. But sadly, yeah, it died after that video. But thank you for capturing the chimneys when you did. And we'll just have to get a new one now, I guess, at some point. But yeah, here we are, stood on the final resting place of Mythen Mill chimney. Stood since the mid-1800s. The mill was built at the end of the 1700s. So much interesting history here. And I'm going to get back to what I said at the start. You know, I spoke about how, that scene in Shawshank Redemption where Andy Dufresne says to Red, I'm going to go to Zinataehu, I think it is, Zinataehu in Mexico. And if you ever get out, go to this tree, look for the buried treasure, and it'll tell you where to go. So what am I talking about? Well, I thought that, seeing as though I absolutely love mill chimneys, and a load of you seem to be showing enthusiasm for them as well. I get messages all the time from people saying, oh Turnip, I've just seen this absolutely banging chimney in, I don't know, Ireland, or oh, I've just seen one in Portugal, you should go check it out. I must get 5 messages a week from people saying, go check out these chimneys. So I thought, let's keep the enthusiasm for chimneys going. So in the style of Shawshank Redemption, I have decided to bury some treasure at a mill chimney somewhere in England, and I want you to go find it. Or maybe just one day you're walking along and you see a mill chimney and you think, I'm just gonna go have a look, see if that's there. So I got myself a treasure chest, nice bit of kit that. I got myself some treasure in the form of a load of cash. Fair amount of cash there. That's £200 cash. That, if you're a kid, like £200 cash would be a heck of a lot of money. You could go get something really fun. Or if you're an adult, £200 cash is a heck of a lot of money. It can go towards your increased water bill that's just happened. So, the cash is going in the treasure chest. And you're probably thinking, but why have you been banging on about Shawshank Redemption? Well, in Shawshank Redemption, the character Red found that rock that felt like it had absolutely no earthly place below the tree. So if you're wandering along and you see a mill chimney and you think, oh, maybe this is where the Wandering Turnip's buried the treasure, you want to look out for a rock that has absolutely no worldly place being at the mill chimney. And of course, the rock is an Accrington Norrye brick. Obviously, one of my favourite videos I've ever made was when I went to Accrington and hunted down a load of Accrington Norrye bricks, and I came home with like 30. It was an absolutely wonderful day. So I am going to attach the treasure chest full of cash to the Accrington Norrye brick, and I'm going to place this at a mill chimney somewhere in England. Somewhere in England. Now, I've visited mill chimneys in lots of different countries. I've been to Scotland, I've been abroad, but it will be at a mill chimney in England. And if you see this, there will be attached to it, but buried, the treasure chest full of cash. Now, I just want to say as well, in my time, I have visited so many mill chimneys, and the reason why this video kind of explains why is because it will be a mill chimney that I have walked up to and patted. I love giving them a pat on the bottom. Now, it will be a chimney that you can walk up to and pat where the treasure will be buried. Now, also, I have been very reckless and stupid in times and put myself in silly situations where I've gone into mill chimneys. Do not do that. Do not put yourself at any risk. It will not be anywhere inside the mill chimney. It will simply be in the vicinity around the mill chimney. Maybe within like 2 meters is where this Accrington Norrye brick will be, which will be attached to the treasure chest. Do not put yourself in any risks. You don't need to. It will just simply be outside it. Oh yeah, as well, because I want to find out who actually finds the treasure as well. So inside here, as well as the cash, I'm going to generate 3 random words, 3 completely random words that only the person who finds the treasure would know. And my mobile number's going to be in here as well. So if you find it, please do ring me, message me, say those 3 random words, and I can document whoever finds it as well, because I think that'd be really fun to see if this does turn into a fun treasure hunt and someone does end up finding it in the style of Shawshank Redemption, because we fucking love mill chimneys. So that is the video today, and obviously it is incredibly sad to be sat here on what once was such a magnificent mill chimney that sat so proudly in this industrial valley. And yeah, I hope that maybe this little fun thing, burying some treasure at a mill chimney in the style of Shawshank Redemption, just inspires someone. I don't know, maybe you think, oh, I really want to go try find it and go look for the mill chimneys and maybe really get involved. Or maybe one day you will just be simply passing a mill chimney and think, oh, I'm just going to go have a look. And I just hope that we can bring a bit more enthusiasm back to our industrial history. Let's not just scrap all of it. Let's not get rid of it. Let's celebrate it and make it part of this country, because things are changing so fast. And when you eradicate history very quickly, you soon lose all touch of what places once were or what built them. And I just think this could be a fun little adventure for you or for someone to get involved with. And as we fall further and further into the swamp that is the digital artificial age, I just think there's something so visceral and wholesome about just going around looking at mill chimneys, and maybe this will inspire you to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. So all my chimney videos are together in a playlist called Giant Chimneys, and the treasure is buried at one of these chimneys, so you can go watch them all if you want. What else do you need? A trowel, maybe a mini spade, and a can-do attitude. So seek and ye may find.